The reviews are out, both from a access media perspective and also from a consumer or customer perspective. But before we even get to that, this is from Bounding in the Comics. Ubisoft dev confirms high stakes for Assassin's Creed Shadows. The game performs moderately. We're really in trouble.
Good.
So it's got to do well. Got to do well. And that's pretty much what you need to take from that. The question is it going to do well? I talked to my insider from a retail perspective, and they said that it was charting from a pre-order perspective. It's bumped up recently, and the time off, the delays that they had actually benefited greatly.
How? Unironically, how?
I think that the delays. So I have a theory about this. When it comes to the delays, I think the game 6 months ago was drastically different than what it is now, right? But maybe not drastically, but let's just say it's 15% different than what it is now. Okay. I think we'll never see that how it was changed, and whether that was pulling Yasuke back in the story or adding or deleting some content, we'll never know, right? But I think that was definitely done after the initial blowback. Because if this game was going to be released in October, like it was supposed to be released, it would have fallen flat on its face. But they've kind of gone in and look, credit is where credit's due, right? Ubisoft has heard the criticism from Japan. Now, have they corrected everything? Obviously not. But they at least attempted to put some water on the flames a little bit. Is it enough to save their company? I don't know. And honestly, I don't think so. I think this whole deal with Tencent, where they're going to be taking different brands and IPs from Ubisoft and combining them with Tencent, I think that's going to happen. And Ubisoft, as we know it, will totally change. And they're just going to put on a new change of clothes and call it a new company. So we'll see kind of how this goes. But they are definitely paying people to play this game, including this dude, which, Kirsha, I know you're a big fan of this guy right here, huh?
Oh boy, why is he showing his arm pussy?
Yeah, he's got a strong arm pussy going on. I've never heard that called that before, but thank you, Kirsha. Oh my gosh. And by the way, this is a guy who lives a very modest life, right? I've learned so much about this guy in the last year. It's insane. He lives a very modest life. He doesn't need the money. What are we talking about? It's silly. So they're definitely paying this out. And Savvy points out, says they paid him to stream this. They really want to keep burning money. What was the price, do you think? Like, legitimately, how much do you think?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Probably quite a lot of money. And I'm sure he's making money off the pre-order link as well. Oh, Craig died.
Rip.
What the hell happened there?
I think this is the new improved Craig.
What the hell? Where did I go? Do you hear me?
Yeah, we
hear you, but you're like color blocked out of your mind.
What is going on with this? All right, just hello.
Hey, you're back.
Okay, weird. All right, well, let's see how the game is performing right now. Right now, it has over on Steam 41,000 players, and that's about at its peak right now. And this will pick up as it goes into the weekend. I notoriously overshot my expectations for Dragon Age Veilguard. I thought that would cap at about 150,000 players. Didn't even get anywhere close to that. Kirsha, where do you think this will go from a PC perspective?
I'm not sure. I think it was Grums as well, tweet out that Assassin's Creed Shadows is now like second on the Steam purchase list as well. So there are a fuck ton of people buying this, which, like, again, unfortunately, as much as we joke about who's going to buy this, like, there are a lot of gamers that will buy a lot of schlock, and they will not care how bad it is. They will still just want to play it.
Yeah, they're not.
I always struggle with, like, yeah, sure, I could buy the game and I could show it off on stream, but I still feel bad, like, about spending money on these kinds of people. So I don't.
They're not, a lot of these people are normies. They're not perpetually online. They see Assassin's Creed, they want to buy Assassin's Creed. right?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, and I was actually talking to a couple dads last night, and they're like, oh yeah, Assassin's Creed coming out, and like I love Assassin's Creed, and they're like, oh, okay. I was like, okay,
I
so
loved Assassin's Creed a decade ago. Is
Right,
the response to that?
the guy goes, I love Assassin's Creed Pirate. I was like, you mean Black Flag? He's like, yeah, Black Flag. So
Oh man.
that's kind of what we're dealing with here. But what about the reviews here? And this was very interesting to see. Which, hey, this is exactly what you'd expect. Here's a nice little list from Cortex over on X. It says, if you're wondering which publications accepted money from Ubisoft to review Assassin's Creed Shadows positively, it's all of them. All positive reviews regurgitated with the same return to form rhetoric verbatim. In addition to Ubisoft, all these media shills need to be canceled. And you can see literally down the line, a return to form, return to form, return to greatness, return to form, return to form, return to form.
That's crazy.
Now I'll say this. I've been on that side. You guys got to understand. I've been in those rooms, right? I don't think Assassin's Creed or Ubisoft has paid these companies to review their games. I want to be really clear on that. But not from a monetary standpoint. I do think that there is a wink, wink, nudge, nudge when it always comes back to access, right? You want the game earlier? You want that exclusive interview? You want that tidbit for your outlet? Okay, well, look, we're going to provide you with the game as well as whatever. And here's a hoodie, by the way, and here's some other fun stuff that you can get for reviewing the game. You get some sort of press kit. So it's called a press kit, right? And they send you a bunch of shit. Now, included in that press kit, which a lot of people don't know, is there's oftentimes a bullet pointed like features list. Here are the things in this game, right, that we would love for you to check out. And it's written by a PR company or whatever. And oftentimes in that, when you see something that says a return to form, or return to form, or return to form, this 1000% was on that bulleted PDF that they got that said, hey, this is a return to form for Assassin's Creed, a return to form. And wouldn't it be great if you mentioned that in your review? But it's never like you're going to. But
I mean, we kind of have the same thing like as streamers when we get given like a docket when we're promoting a game that we're paid for, is they give us like bullet points of like, hey, here are some talking points that would help sell the game. Like, you don't have to say these things. If you do, just like word it however you normally would. But these are, some talking points that we would like if you mentioned.
Yes. I think that's something that, man, when you talk about like transparency and reviewing games, that is something that should be included in this. The idea that your Assassin's, like whatever game it is, those talking points should be included because everyone gets that PDF, everyone gets that memo. It should 100% be listed so people can see. I mean, that's something that should be pushed for. Just thought of that now, and I mean, it's like, yeah, that makes total sense. I'd like to see that. But Cabrutus over on X, I think this is a great tweet. Return to form, return to form. Like this, fucking brilliant. I don't even know how to do this shit. How do you do this? How do you make this?
You just like Google search for a special Twitter text, and then you type in whatever you want, and then it gives you it in like the special text.
Oh, that's the coolest fucking thing ever. Anyways, it's like straight out of the Matrix, right? This was probably the one that caught most people's eyes. Was VG247, who gave Assassin's Creed Shadows a perfect score. They rank on 100. They gave it 100.
What the fuck?
In their review, it says, there are problems with Assassin's Creed Shadows for sure. Well, color me crazy, Kirsha, but if there's problems in a game,
it usually wouldn't get 100.
Yes. Is it a perfect game if there's problems in a game?
It's perfect from an ideological standpoint, and that's all that matters, Craig.
That's right. Wow, it's amazing. But it's so fun to play. It tells a gripping story, and there's so much sense of progress and reward for every little thing you do.
I bet there is a sense of progress while Yasuke is doing some gripping, eh?
That's right. I still think that he's got like 17 kids running around after the game. He's just dipping his wick in everything that moves. It's just like, wow. I don't even understand. I don't understand how you can have a perfect a game that is perfect, but still has problems. Doesn't make sense to me at all. But I'll also say this. Over on Steam, the game has a very positive score from the users. And that is the most important thing here, right? Now, never mind that I guarantee they don't have any chance of actually going through and playing this and beating it and seeing how much time they have in the game. But whether it's recommended or not, it does have a positive, very positive score. So good for Assassin's Creed. I think that's a really good thing.
That's so depressing that it has a positive score, man.
I mean,
Well, we'll
to
see
be
where it
fair,
goes because
though,
I do think that the game.
Well, people who go and play
but-
the game like day one, really, really like off the bat, those are gonna usually be like the super fans and stuff. So
Yes.
the most positive reviews are gonna be the first ones out. Give it like a week to see what happens. You know, all the normies come play over the weekend and stuff, and see where the reviews start to fluctuate. Just my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I just don't have, I guess, much faith in people at this point.
People, yeah, I hear that. I hear that, Kirsha. Well, here we just have this from Blabs. Blabs said it said IGN cope.
Yeah.
Kind of walk us through what you're thinking here, Blabs.
Okay, so there's two articles. Actually, there's like a shit ton of articles written by IGN about Assassin's Creed in the last 24 hours. But I just thought the titles were very much a bit of a copium. So one title was Assassin's Creed Shadows sets a high bar for Ghost of Yotai, which is the upcoming Ghost of Tsushima spin-off, if you will. So already they're like, setting the high bars, guys. This game's amazing. And then if you look at the next article, the other title is also the same type of attitude. 10 times Assassin's Creed changed history, meaning like it's a bit of a copium of how they completely changed everything for Shadows. So like, oh, it's been done before. It's fine. So yeah,
Right.
huge copium.
It's all fiction. Why do you care?
Mhm.
And yeah, that's the one thing here is that when you have a game that's historically accurate, you have Access Media running cover for you here. It's like, oh, it's been done many times before. It's okay.
Yeah, so there you go. Shout out IGN. They're really doing like some serious damage control over there. There's a lot of articles.
Running coverage, yeah. Kirsha, you mentioned in the Japanese Parliament, the hearing that was had about this game. Just the idea that they had a hearing about this game. We're not going to watch this, but I do have like Cliff Notes version of this.
It's fascinating to me. Like, I wish we could get, sort of cultural stuff taken this seriously in our country. Because a lot of people will just be like, oh, this is for children. Like, this doesn't really matter. Like, we got to focus on things that are actually important. And it's like, culture is important, hugely important. And even if it's not something you personally like consuming, you have to understand how it can be used as a tool for your opposition. And if you just throw the baby out with the bathwater, you're giving your opposition an opportunity to push what they want in culture instead. And you're just going to resign yourself to complaining as you lose over and over and over. So I really respect the fact that they take their culture and their history as seriously as they do to talk about something like a video game at a professional level like this.
Well, here's a brief summary, and I don't want to ruin this for you, Kirsha. If you don't want to go over the summary of it, have you seen this before? Have you seen?
I have not. No, give me the summary. I'm perfectly happy with that.
Well, here's the summary right here from the parliamentary discussion on Assassin's Creed Shadows. Hiroyuki Kata reviewed early gameplay footage of Assassin's Creed Shadows and raised concerns about the game. A shrine altar being destroyed in the game. A shrine from his home district appearing without permission to use its name. In response, Vice Minister of Economy, Trade, and Industry stated that unauthorized use of real-world locations is unacceptable. Kata then pointed out the risk of the game encouraging real-world vandalism, noting that some tourists have climbed shrine torii gates and committed graffiti. This kind of cultural disrespect is unacceptable. Prime Minister Ishibe responded, graffiti on shrines is absolutely unacceptable. Japan will not simply remain silent on such issues, and showing respect for local cultures should be common sense. Yes.
And like, considering Ubisoft railed about how they had cultural consultants and how they were, consulting to make sure everything was accurate because it's a historically accurate game, the bare minimum they could have done is go to, the shrine owners and be like, we want to use your location in this game and we want to be respectful to the history and the cultural significance of this, because Japan's a different culture than we are in the West, right? I don't think you have to ask to use locations in the West in your game, but if that's something that the Japanese culturally care about, regardless of whether you're touting your game as being, culturally sensitive, I feel like that's something that you should do, even if you think it's silly, because you want to use their culture for your game. And the fact that they didn't, I think, shows they just didn't care. And then after all of this came out and they didn't even try to make any sort of amends with it, doubly shows that they don't care. Because if they weren't trying to claim to be like culturally sensitive and historically accurate, again, I don't think most people would care or even notice about like a shrine destruction, because it's something that happens in every single game. You just destroy things in the environment. And so I wonder exactly what Japan is going to do about this necessarily.
Well, I know what Ubisoft has done from this conversation, and that is instituted a day one patch for Assassin's Creed Shadows, preventing defacing shrines amid concern from Japanese politicians about real life copycats. So,
Interesting.
yes, they have acted here for sure. And Savvy says, did you do a journalism and ask why they felt the need to issue the patch? Did you do the bare minimum and ask if they feel bad over it? You didn't, did you? No, of course they didn't.
Of course not.
And Ubisoft wouldn't respond either. But
Probably not.
they have gone in and made that patch, and now you cannot destroy said shrines with a day one patch over at Assassin's Creed Shadows. So good luck with that, you vandals. So there you go. That is Assassin's Creed Shadows in a nutshell.